Hello, welcome to this edition of Inside to Boluwati Tony Shola. Last weekend, we got 7 out of 8 predictions correctly. Let's make it 100% this time around. Yeah, before we get into the analysis and all, let's talk about the controversies for last weekend first. Let's start in England. The biggest game, of course, the match between Arsenal away to Manchester United. The goal Arsenal scored, the dark art goal. I don't think there's any way in this life that goal should be counted anytime. Arsenal have been scoring like this for about 2-3 seasons and they've been getting away with it. There was a foul on the goalkeeper. That definitely should cancel the goal. Anywhere outside the Premier League, that goal will be cancelled. But in England, anything goes. So Arsenal, I think they were even more lucky with Saliba's foul on Matheus Cunha. For me, that could have been a penalty. Maybe the only reason it wasn't given was because Cunha did not put the ball, he couldn't get a hold of the ball, he couldn't control it well. Probably that's the only reason why. Whichever way, I still think Arsenal got lucky with that. That could have been a penalty for Manchester United in any other fixture, but Arsenal got lucky with that one. And the Spanish, okay, still with England, Chelsea's game against Crystal Palace. Many have complained about the controversial free kick goal that was chucked off from Eberici. Is it? It's unfair, but somehow you have to say the rule is the rule. There has to be, I think, about a meter between the defensive team and the attacking team. And if you check what Maguire did, he moved while tussling with the Chelsea defense, moved close to the wall. That's why that goal was cancelled. So the Spanish La Liga, obviously the most controversial one has to be the Barcelona game away to Mallorca. I thought Barcelona's second goal shouldn't have stood. Why? Because head injury is one of the most important things in football. When it happens, you stop the game almost immediately. And it's not that the volley, it was the volley that Barcelona's coming from the ball coming down. They had time to make 1 or 2 passes before shooting that ball. So I think it was a wrong call from the referee, the VAR as well. All of them should have stopped play. Not even the VAR, the referee should have stopped play immediately. And the annoying part of it was they put the whistle in his mouth to blow, but he still did not make the call. Again, who am I? He's the one in charge of the officiating. He gave the goal. Then another error for me. This one is one that concerns both the VAR and the referee. Rafinha's foul. That was the easiest. That should have been the easiest red card in the game. Mallorca were already down to 2 by 2 men. They were already down to 11. Obviously, by the way, 2 correct calls. Both were red cards. But Rafinha's foul, there's no way in hell that wouldn't have been a red card. But the referee did not. The VAR did also not take the ref to give a red card. And one of the medical staff of Mallorca had to go to Rafinha after the game. That the guy suffered 2 ACLs. That was a very, very terrible foul. But the referee decided to give. But who am I? What do I know? The man in charge decided to make the call. Let's talk about analysis after this break. Yes, it's another episode of Inside to Boluwati Tony Shola, and the top 5 leagues are complete, and of course the most competitive league in the world, the Nigeria Premier Football League, is back. And I like how game 1 is starting with the champions Remo Stars taking on Rivers United, runners-up for last season. This is definitely going to be an exciting game. But the flip side is both of them are literally playing on the neutral ground. Remo Stars can't play in Ikenne because of the rehabilitation going on there. So they'll be playing at the MKO Abiola Sports Arena. So I think this game is looking more like something that can end in the draw. Remember last season, Remo Stars couldn't be Rivers United at all, lost away, then played out a draw in Ikenne. So I think it's probably going to be in a similar fashion this season. It's more like, let's say, double chance for Remo Stars in this game. I don't think they'll be Rivers United on match day 1. Let's just show you the remainder of the fixtures in the Nigeria Premier Football League. Yes, those are the fixtures for the match day 1 of the NPFL. Let's move on. Okay, I think we'll retire in the Premier League because the biggest game across Europe this weekend is in the Premier League. Let's talk about PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, the UEFA Champions League winner. They'll be facing Angers. That game, PSG has been showing a bit of a struggle since they lost to Chelsea in the final of FIFA Club World Cup. Yes, they won the UEFA Super Cup, but you could see they had to fight hard, dig deep to come from 2 goals down to level then win via penalties. Their opening match against Nantes, they had a Vitinha goal. This time, I think their struggle may still continue. They will probably win and nick it against Angers based on extra quality. And with Kvaratskhelia out injured, they may struggle a bit, but I still think they'll find a win to pick all 3 points. To the German Bundesliga, Bayern Munich will be kicking off with a game against RB Leipzig. I think I like how they brought up a big game as well. But even Leipzig at their best, they still found it difficult to beat Bayern. Most their best results were draws. They probably won like 3 games against Bayern Munich overall, but Bayern have the key to RB Leipzig. So I don't think this one is going to be a big defender. In fact, you can go for maybe over 2.5 in this encounter. They may collect what we're talking about RB Leipzig. And let's talk about Leverkusen are also playing like, okay, these are the remainder of the fixtures of the German Bundesliga for match day 1. Let's leave that now and come to the Italian Serie A. This is another exciting league. Last season, they fought to the wire. That was exciting competition between Napoli and Inter Milan last season. They're talking about Napoli. They'll be starting off away to Sassuolo. Inter Milan will not like that Sassuolo are back in this area. They always threaten the two Milano clubs. And for Inter Milan, they'll be facing Torino. For AC Milan, they'll be playing Cremonese, the newly promoted side. I think what looks like the biggest game in the Serie A for this weekend has to be Juventus against Parma. Both of them have similar jerseys. You could call it a Gigi Buffon derby somewhere, but I think Juve would want to start on a winning note. So I think they should do well to pick up 3 points in this encounter. Let's talk about the Spanish La Liga. Not much key games in Spain. Real Madrid should do soft work away to Oviedo to pick up 3 points, and Barcelona going away to take on Levante. There were loads of controversies in the first game, but you still expect them to bounce back in this one and continue from how they left up and win all 3 points in this encounter. Let's move to the Premier League, where the excitement never ends. There's something you can call, well, no Ishak derby. Yes, that's the game Monday night between Liverpool and Newcastle at the St. James's Park. Battle between these two sides has probably never been better than this one. Why? Because of a certain man, Alexander Isak. The Swedish striker has been the center of controversy, center of attraction, center of transfer conversations between the two club sides. Now they'll be battling each other. I'm sure Eddie Howe and his boys want to tell them, you want to steal a man who would show you can do well without him. And Liverpool want to tell you that even without your man, we still scored 4 goals in the first leg. Newcastle played a goalless draw against Aston Villa in the opening match, and they would want to score. They would want to win. Against an informed Liverpool, yes, they may struggle a bit, they may concede goals, but they always find ways to get the goals. So this match looks like a game that could end in both teams hitting the back of the net. For Gunners Arsenal at the Emirates to be a match against Leeds United, this is the game you expect Victor Gyökeres to get to open his account in the Premier League. Well, for punters, you can put your money on it that Gyökeres should get to score. I think Arsenal will pick up 3 points in this encounter as well. Another game that concerns one of the top sides is Manchester United traveling to the Craven Cottage in London to take on Fulham. Fulham fought hard. They scored a late equalizer against Brighton at the Amex Stadium last weekend. Now they'll be playing at home against what? You don't know what to expect in Man United. The Red Devils fans were excited about the performance against the Gunners last weekend. But one thing I kept telling them is, you always play well against top oppositions. Even last season, the problem for United are against all these not so big clubs, the little teams, the mid-table teams and the likes. And Fulham definitely falls in that category. Let's see how they can react in the game against Fulham. I think both teams should hit the back of the net in this match for tonight. But the biggest game has to be at the Etihad Stadium between Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspurs. Both of them impressive wins in the first leg. Spurs won by 3-0, and the citizens went away to the Molineux to score 4 goals against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now they are coming at home. Last season at the Etihad against Spurs, the game ended 4-0. In favor of Tottenham Hotspur. City will definitely want to revenge. Remember how Pep Guardiola struggled to pick wins against Spurs since he joined England, but he broke that jinx last season. He won on the second leg, and this time around, he would want to make it back-to-back wins against Spurs. I don't think City will lose at the Etihad. I think the best, I don't even think Spurs can get it. I think it should be straight wins for Manchester City. Yes, sir. That's much of it. Let's do like a recap of what everything is about. In the NPFL, the opening match, I think Remo Stars and Rivers United would end in a draw or a win for Remo Stars. In the French League on, PSG should do enough to pick up 3 points against Angers. In the German Bundesliga, there should be a rout between Bayern Munich in terms of goals and RB Leipzig. Bayern should win. You can add over 2.5 as well to your tickets for that game. And in the Italian Serie A, I think Milan should win. Inter should also head Torino. Same with Juventus against Parma. Napoli away to Sassuolo. That's the very dicey one. Now, maybe you can go for under 3.5 in that game. Moving to the Spanish La Liga, Real Madrid should do soft work away to Real Oviedo. Atletico Madrid should beat Elche. Barcelona double chance away to Levante. And in the Premier League, Chelsea. Yes, how did I forget about Chelsea? I think the Blues will do well to win against West Ham. West Ham has struggled. First game of the season, losing heavily to newly promoted Sunderland. I think Chelsea will get back to their first win this season away in the London derby. So straight win for Chelsea against the West Ham United. Manchester United, I think both teams should score at the Craven Cottage. Arsenal should do enough to beat Leeds United at the Emirates Stadium. And the match, the biggest game between Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur, I think citizens should do enough to pick all 3 points in that game. That's so much we can take on this edition of Insight with Boluwatitoniola. Thank you very much for being faithful to me all through this while. Please like, share, subscribe. This is a new channel, so I need your engagement. I need your subscription. Till I come here another time, do have a sporty weekend. Goodbye.